Hello students, welcome to the class of marketing with me Adela Samuel, Head Department of Accounting and Finance, St. Anne's Arts and Science College, Madhavaram. So in today's class, our topic is going to be classification of markets. We are going to see how we can classify markets into different types. We will be dealing with 7 different classifications of markets and under each different types of markets. So the first type is based on geographic area. The second one is going to be based on commodities. Third one is based on finance. Fourth is based on significance. Fifth one is based on volume. Sixth one is based on competition, and the seventh one is based on transaction. So we will be dealing with all these markets in today's class. So first off, we will start off with based on geographic area. So markets based on geographic area. So under this, we have a few types of markets. The first one is the family market. Family market. When goods and services are exchanged within a family, we call it as a family market. The geographical area is very limited and the profits are also very limited in this kind of a family market. Family market, it does not only mean selling the products within your family, but it also means where the area where you're selling the market or where you're selling the products is going to be very small. Like for example, 2 or 3 houses next to you, you're selling it within your locality, you're selling it within friends and families, you're selling certain products, we consider it as a family market. So this usually happens when the area is not huge and when you are able to sell very few products. We consider it as a family market. The second type is the local market. Local market is when goods and services are exchanged within a particular village or a town or a city. So it is called as a local market. So when you are able to exchange products within a within a particular locality or a village or a town or a city, we consider it as a local market. They usually sell perishable goods or daily usage goods like vegetables and food articles and things like that, fish or meat or vegetables that perishes soon. So that kind of a market, we consider it as a local market. So one major difficulty is that they sell it very soon within the locality is because of transportation and warehousing problem, which could not be afforded by the marketers. So that is called as local market. The third kind of a market is the regional market. Regional market is when the geographic coverage of the goods and services might be within a district or a taluk or a cluster of small states. Then it can be considered as a regional market. The goods and services are exchanged with the help of warehousing and transportation in this kind of a market where within a particular district, when they are transporting goods and services, when they are able to warehouse and transport it from one place to another, then it can be part of the regional market. But again, it is going to be restricted only to a small area, a district, within a district or within a taluk or within a few states, interstate, but within a very few states. Then that case, it is considered as a regional market. So products like Arvin milk products or which is only sold in our particular state, we can consider that as a regional market. Or you can also take the example of Ponvandu washing powder. That is also a regional product which is sold only inside Tamil Nadu, which is famous inside Tamil Nadu. So that kind of those kinds of products, we consider them as a regional market, which is going to be sold only inside the regional market. Next one is a national market. National market is where The goods and services are available all through the country. It is exchanged all over the nation. So it is called as a national market. The products may be traded only within the national boundary. So if you take a product which is sold only inside our country and which is available throughout the country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, wherever you go, these products will be available, but it will not be available outside the country. So such kind of a product that is sold inside the country, we consider that as a national market. So certain products like if you take the brands of Big Bazaar or Food Bazaar, all this is available only inside India. So the market is only national market. Or if you take the example of Kisan, Lifebuoy soap or Nirma soap, all these are also products which are sold only inside the country, in our country. So we can consider it as a national market. Then we have world market. Due to the globalization, the entire world is like a single market now. So when the demand for the product is international and the goods are also traded internationally in bulk quantities, we can call it as an international market, or we can also call it as a world market. So products like KFC, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Toyota, all these products which are sold everywhere in the international market, we can consider it as a world market or international market. So it can be created in one country, it can be initiated in one country, but it will be very famous all over the world. That kind of a product, we can consider it under the world market. And finally, we have urban and rural markets. So taking the locality as a basis, the market is again going to be divided into rural and urban market. When you say urban market, it caters to the needs of the urban or city people, city customers. So it can be a market where we can sell products only for the urban people. So if you take the example of malls that are available in the city, or certain retail outlets like More and Reliance Fresh, all these can be considered as part of urban market. Rural market is where they are located in the villages, and mostly they are going to be seasonal or weekly markets. So if you would have heard these concepts like village market or Sundays, it will be available only in the rural areas or in the villages. So they are seasonal. So say for example, Sundays are available only on Sundays or on a particular weekday. So things like that. So a market like that can be considered as a rural market. So these are the 6 types of market which is based on geographic area. The second type of classification is going to be markets based on commodities. So under markets based on commodities, we have 3 types that we are going to see. The first one is the produce market. The word produce is a little different from the word products. Products is different, produce is different. How is it different? Produce is made by nature. Products that grow by nature, we consider it as produce. So all the agriculture products, all the forest goods that we get, we can consider that as produce. So a market that is going to sell produce, a market that is going to sell products that is naturally grown like rice, wheat, tea, coffee, cotton or rubber, all these we can consider it as a produce market. The second type under commodities is manufactured goods market. Goods that are manufactured by man, where man's role is very important here. To convert the raw material into end products, then such kind of a market is called as a manufactured goods market. So when products, raw materials are going to be converted to an industry and they come up with some product, or they come up with a finished item and that is sold in the market, we consider that as a manufactured goods market. So products like fan, light or bed or washing machine, refrigerator, anything that you take that is manufactured and sold to you, we consider that as a manufactured goods market. The third type of market under commodity is called as the bullion market. Bullion market is a market that specializes in the exchange of precious metals, like for example gold or silver or copper or platinum, diamond. All these things are precious metals. So a market that is going to specialize in selling these kind of precious metals, we consider that as a bullion market. So under markets based on commodities, three types: produce market, manufactured goods market, and bullion market. The third basis on which markets are going to be divided is on the basis of finance. So based on finance, the market is divided into two types. The first type is money market and the second type is capital market. So when we take money market, it refers to the market that deals with short-term finances. And again, money market is going to be further divided into a few types. When we consider the capital market, this stands for institutional arrangements for borrowings and lendings for the long-term funds of a particular company. So that kind of a long-term fund market, we can consider it as the capital market. And again, capital market is also further divided into a few types. So which we will be seeing in the following slides. So first off, we will start off with money market. Under the finance market, we are going to start off with money market. So as I told you, money market is also going to be divided into different types. The first type under money market is called call money market. Call money market is for extremely short-term loans, and it is either for a day or for a week or for a month. So that short the loan is going to be taken for. When you take this loan from a broker or a dealer or from a commercial bank for a very short span of time, then we consider it as a call money market. This is also called as a call loan market. Why? Because the person who has lended the money can call back the money at a very short notice. So as the money is called back by the lender at short notice, it is also given the name as call loan market. That is the first type of money market. The second type of money market is called collateral loan market. This deals with a collateral loan, or it is backed up by collateral security. So when you're taking a loan, only if there is a collateral security given, the loan can be given by the lender. So such kind of a market is called as a collateral loan market. And this is also given for a very short span of time, maybe for 6 months or for a year. So either you can have the securities like jewelry, gold, things like that as a collateral security, or you can have assets like buildings or plant or machinery, something like that. So once you give a security, then only you can take the loan. So such kind of a market is called as collateral loan market. The third type is called as bill market or discount market. Now this is a little different, so you have to understand this carefully. So bill market or discount market, it refers to the market where short-term genuine trade bills are discounted by financial intermediaries like banks, commercial banks. So when a credit sales is taking place, the seller draws a bill on the buyer who accepts the bill, and he promises to pay the amount that is specified in the bill at a later period of time. But the seller has to wait till the maturity of the bill so that he will get paid by the buyer. But in the presence of a bill market or a discount market, what the seller can do is he can produce that bill to the bill market or to the discount market and get paid immediately by the financial intermediary. by paying an amount called as discount rate. So he takes the bill to the discount market, produces the bill and pays some small amount of money called as discount rate, and the entire money on the bill can be paid to the seller. So what the banks or the financial institutions who are called as the bill market or the discount market does is they will pay the money to the seller, and at the later date they will claim the amount of bill from the buyer who has signed the bill. So instead of the buyer paying the amount directly to the seller produces the bill to the financial institution or to the commercial banks, gets paid, and the bank will show this and claim the amount from the buyer at a later date. So such kind of a system is called as a discount market or a bill market. The last type is called as acceptance market. It's almost like the bill market but a little different. Acceptance market is an investment market based on short-term credit instruments. Typically, this is used by exporters who prefer to get paid faster for their export goods. So just like how a bill market is present, an acceptance market is also present. It can be a banker. So now here what happens? The buyer signs the acceptance along with a bank and produces this acceptance to the exporter and promises them that they will pay the money on the delivery of the goods or on a later date. So the exporter takes the bill and he has it, and if the buyer is not paying the amount, then he can produce this bill to the bank who acted like the security or he acted like the acceptance market for the buyer. So they produce this bill to the bank and the exporter gets paid. Even if the buyer is not going to pay the bank or not, the bank will have to pay the exporter because he has also signed in this acceptance receipt. Okay, so in an acceptance market, there are three parties: the exporter, the acceptance authority, that is the banker, and the buyer. So at a later date, the buyer promises to pay the amount. But even if he doesn't pay the amount, the bank will pay the amount to the exporter. So such kind of a market is considered as acceptance market. So under money market, we are looking into four types: call money market, collateral loan market, bill market or discount market, and the fourth type is acceptance market. Now coming to the second part of the financial market, the capital market. As I told you earlier, the capital market is for long-term funds, is usually for borrowing long-term funds by institutions for their finance purpose. So under the capital market, there are four types of market. The first type is new issue market. Second one is stock market. The third one is financial institutions, and the fourth type is forex market. So first we'll start off with the new issue market. New issue market is a market that issues new shares and bonds from a newly started or existing companies. It facilitates transfer of funds from willing investors to the entrepreneurs. So a newly started company or an existing company, in order to collect funds for their long-term purpose, they go in for issuing shares, and certain willing investors will invest in these shares. So such kind of a market is considered as new issue market. The second one is the stock market. Stock market represents the secondary market where existing security shares and debentures are bought and sold. So when we say stock market, it is a body of person that was incorporated with a view to help and regulate the control help regulate and control the buying and selling of shares. Okay, so the share market is another market which is mainly used for long-term funds. The third type is the financial institutions. Financial institutions are institutions that specialize to provide long-term and medium-term funds to individuals and organizations. For example, institutions like the IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, or ICICI, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, or the UTI, Unit Trust of India, LIC, life insurance corporations. All these institutions are financial institutions which provide finance to individuals and organizations for their long run purpose. So this is the third type of capital market. The fourth type of capital market is the forex market. Forex means foreign market or foreign exchange market. So it is the market for money exchange. It specializes in foreign exchange where the currency it deals with the foreign currency. So any market that is dealing with foreign currency, we consider it as forex market. So the next concept that you're going to study is on the basis of significance. Significance otherwise is on the basis of agricultural products. So when we say agricultural products, there are three types of markets that is divided. The first one is primary market. It is a market where the agricultural products are sold at the village level. The traders and the producers, they buy the products from the farmers and sell it at the most natural form. So products like milk from the cow, okay, vegetables and rice, pulses, fruits, all these are bought from the farmers at its natural form and it is sold to the customers. Such kind of a market is called as a primary market. The second market is the secondary market. Secondary market, it represents the semi-finished or manufactured or processed products where the products have to be sent from the farm to a manufacturing unit or an industry where it is again further processed and then the finished product is sold to the customers. So such kind of a product is what is called as a secondary market. So in this example, if you see the diagram, you can see apples are picked from the farm. They've taken it to the industries to process it further, and then they're creating juice bottles, apple juice, and that is further packed and it is sold and delivered to the ultimate customers. Such kind of a product that is sold will be considered as in the secondary market. The third type under based on significance is the terminal market. It is where the finished goods are finally sold to the ultimate customers or to the ultimate users of the product. So the shops that we see, the retail shops that we see, we consider that as the terminal market where we actually buy these products and we can consume them. So such kind of a market division is based on significance or based on agricultural produce. Next type of market is going to be based on volume. So the first type under based on volume is the wholesale market. So as we know, the market where buying and selling is in large quantities, we consider that as a wholesale market. So it can be either agricultural products or finished products or manufactured products or any type of product, but it is going to be sold in large quantities. So such kind of a market is considered as wholesale market. The second type under this volume is retail market. So when consumers buy the products in small quantities, such kind of a market is called as the retail market. So all our retail outlets, that is the small shops that we see around, where we are going to go and buy it in very small quantities. So such kind of a market is the retail market. When these shopkeepers go to the wholesale market and buy it in large quantities, that is considered as the wholesale market. So two divisions under volume. wholesale market and retail market. Next type of market is based on transaction. Now based on transaction, again there are two types of market. First one under this is the spot market. What is this spot market? It is an organized market where the goods move from the seller to the buyer immediately after the transaction. So once you make the payment, immediately the delivery of the goods take place. Such kind of a market is called as a spot market. On the spot it happens. So such market is a spot market. The second type is a future market. Futures market or future market where there is a contract that is going to be happening between the buyer and the seller. They come into a contract with each other and they are going to do a contract for a future date. So say for example, a buyer is coming to the seller who is a farmer, and they are entering into a contract stating that once the plants grow or once the agricultural plant grows, that will be sold to this particular buyer at a future date for a particular price that they have signed in the contract. Such kind of a market where the contract takes place but the delivery of the goods will happen at a future date. Such kind of a contract or such kind of a marketing transaction is called as a futures market. So these are the two types of market under transaction basis: spot market and future market. The last type of market is going to be based on competition. So under competition, we are going to see three types of markets. The first one is perfect competition market. Here, the market situation is in such a way that there are large number of buyers and sellers present. They are going to be selling the same product, homogeneous product. There is free entry and exit into the market, and perfect knowledge of price and technology will be present in the minds of the customers who are going to buy, and almost every product will be the same price. No transport cost is going to be there and no artificial restrictions will be present. So such a situation we term it as a perfect competition market. For example, if you see any vegetable market or a fish market that you go to is a perfect example of perfect competition market, where there are a lot of buyers and sellers selling the same product. You can choose which shop to go and buy the products from. The products prices are going to be the same. Homogeneous products they are going to sell, and anybody can enter and exit the market in this situation. So this kind of a market is called as perfect competition market. The second market type is oligopoly market. Oligopoly market is where there are few sellers present in the market. They are interdependent on each other for advertising and all that. Competition is present, lack of uniformity is going to be present, and entry and exit barriers will be present in oligopoly market. So this type of a situation we consider it as an oligopoly market. And in oligopoly market, we can say that it is dominated by a few firms or few sellers. It is highly concentrated. It is a highly concentrated market where a few sellers dominate the market. And for example, if you see the example, we can say in the US market, automobile industry, in the US automobile industry, there are a lot of sellers who are doing this process, but there are three major companies which dominate the market. For example, Ford, GMC and Fiat Chrysler. These are the three companies that dominate the market. Such kind of a market is the oligopoly market. And the third type is monopoly. Monopoly is like the firm itself is like an industry. So there will be, it's like a sole seller of its products, and where there are no close substitutes at all. So it's an unregulated monopoly. And that company will have market power and it can influence the price of the products also. So they'll be like the price maker. There are no close substitutes. So the full control of the product or the market will be done by that particular company alone. So such kind of a market situation is called as monopoly. For example, you can give the examples of Microsoft and Windows, or in case of diamond selling, De Beers and Diamonds are the only companies that sell diamonds. So and even in case of the local natural gas companies that we have, so there are only one or two companies that sell and they will dominate the market. So such kind of market situation is called as monopoly. So three kinds based on competition: perfect market, oligopoly market, and monopoly market. So students, in today's class we have completed the concept of classification of market based on varieties of things. According to our subject today, topic today, we have considered 7 different types of classifications, and under each classification we have seen different types of markets. So I hope you understood each and every market clearly, and I hope you liked this video too. So we will please concentrate and study on this particular topic because it's a usually asked question. If you have any doubts, you can also contact me. Take care and stay safe. Thank you, students.